After training the handstand for almost 7 years and after getting around 40 seconds of rocket position in the one-arm handstand, here are my top drills that I would do if I could only do 3 drills for the one-arm handstand. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so for the first drill you need 2 of these wooden blocks. If you want, you can build them yourself or you can also buy them on the internet. I've built them myself in this case. So you can use these blocks in order to really work on your shoulder elevation by doing block walks with them. So you shift your weight from one side to the other and then you are focusing on actively pushing yourself up with your shoulders. If this drill is still too difficult for you, then you can also go to the wall and then you can do the block walk against the wall. This exercise is extremely beneficial when it comes to getting a really stable and consistent one-arm handstand, because the shoulder is the foundation of the one-arm handstand. And the stronger your shoulder elevation is, the more stable your one-arm handstand is going to be.
The most important part is this push right here, because it really strengthens your shoulder activation.
The second exercise is the straight arm elevated support hold. It's an extremely beneficial exercise because it's extremely specific. It's extremely close to the actual position of the one-arm handstand because your supported arm is in the air. It's elevated, but it's still supported. So it's easier than the one-arm handstand, but it's still almost the same feeling like when you are in the one-arm handstand. So this exercise is really going to help you to work on the balance, it's going to help you to work on the alignment, and it's just going to help you with the skill overall because it's extremely specific. And this is something that is extremely important to understand when you are training skills in calisthenics, because you always want to be as close as possible to the actual movement that you want to learn. And this drill allows you to be extremely close to the actual position. So I'm highly recommending you to incorporate this exercise into your training as well. Ja, kein Problem. And one last reason why this exercise is so extremely beneficial is because it's going to build the bridge between the regular fingertip support hold and the one-arm handstand, because it's an exercise that is more difficult than the fingertip support hold but less difficult than the one-arm handstand, and it's extremely close to the actual position. So it's pretty easy to start lifting off your arm from this position and then you are already in the one-arm handstand. So what you can do is to just start in the straight arm elevated support hold, and then if you feel that there's almost no weight at the back of your hand, then you can start to just lift it off just 1 centimeter off the elevated surface, and then you are already in the one-arm handstand. And just to demonstrate the elevated straight arm support hold, you need to have something that is elevated like a rock or a chair or a bench. And then you first of all start in a handstand. So you're doing a handstand next to the elevated surface. You straddle your legs, you shift over to one side. First of all you do the regular elevated support hold, and then you go to the straight arm elevated support hold, and you are touching the surface with your index finger. And then if you feel like there's almost no weight on your free arm, you can also lift it off. And then you are doing a one-arm handstand. And one last thing that you need to understand is that, of course, doing attempts for the one-arm handstand is extremely needed. But you're not always going to do them with quality, because on some days, for example, you don't have enough time to do a lot of attempts of the one-arm handstand, or maybe you are a bit stressed and you are not really concentrated. So on these days you can also just use the straight arm support hold, because it makes it a bit easier, but it's still going to feel pretty similar to your attempts. So if you are only doing attempts that feel like crap, you can just switch the exercise and then you just do straight arm elevated support holds instead of doing attempts of the one-arm handstand, and like this you still manage to keep your training as productive as possible. Okay, so the last drill of today's video is the one-arm handstand close to the wall. You want to go with your chest to the wall, and you can do it in 2 different ways. For example, The one way would be you are leaning with your entire body against the wall and you are focusing on opening your shoulder in the one-arm handstand, because a lot of people have the issue that they don't manage to really open their shoulders. So this is one way how you can use the wall. The other way would be with a little less assistance. So you just touch the wall with your feet if you need to. So you are basically staying extremely close to the wall, freestanding, and if you need some support, then you go to the wall with your feet, and like this you are capable to really work on your alignment freestanding, but you are also capable to maximize the holding time, because you can always use the wall for some assistance and then you can come back off the wall and then you can really maximize the holding time. So if you don't manage to be balanced perfectly all the time, you can just use the wall a little bit and then you can come back off the wall. And to be honest, I've done this drill for the past few weeks and it really helped me to get a lot of volume in my one-arm handstand. I was never doing max holds of the rocket position, but around 1 week ago I was just doing a random try, and guess what happened? I got around 42 seconds of rocket position without even training endurance specifically. I was just doing some drills against the wall where I was focusing on holding time and on the form. Because when the form is good, you also need less strength, and that's why it's way easier to hold the position. So if you are also working on long holds, for example, the wall is a must, but it's also a must if you are still a complete beginner, because like this you can get rid of bad habits. For example, some people, they do mistakes with their hip, they are shifting the hip in the wrong way, but when you're using the wall, you can really focus on shifting your hip in the right way, you can really focus on opening your shoulders, and you can also focus on not arching your back. So this is why the wall is so extremely useful, because you can work on the alignment and you can work on the form. You can also work a little bit on the balance, but you are still assisted. So it's extremely useful. And if you want, if you still haven't seen the video, you can just check out this video. In this video I'm talking about everything that I've learned related to the wall. So if you're interested in this, I can highly recommend you to check out this video. And yeah, that's basically it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. If you still have any questions, feel free to just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm going to answer all of your questions. And that's it with this video. If you liked it, leave a like and see you in the next video.